I want to talk to you about taking a first principles approach. And first principles is really you take like a complex problem or a complex concept and you break it down into its simplest parts. It's almost like you take this overwhelming goal in mind and you break it down into its components. It's simplifying everything, it's simplifying the process. And you're going to use reason, you're going to use logic to build out a solution for this complex problem, complex concept. And you're build it out in a way that helps you to attack this in the right way. Now, this is something that we definitely apply where it comes to health and fitness. And I think so much of what's out there on social media, et cetera, it actually is not taking a first principles approach. It's focusing on some of the bigger things, or some things are not even that important. I break it down to simple things and it's maybe oversimplifying it to something it's not really, or it's focusing on the wrong components, right? So let's consider this a strategy, a first principles approach strategy to your goal. So first, you gotta identify your goal. Like, what do you want to accomplish? And you must define success. You can't just say, I wanna be healthy, I wanna be toned. And I get that these are descriptive concepts in your mind. You visualize something when it comes to that. But the problem with that is not very defined, so that you don't know that if you're moving towards that in some way or another. And for that reason, you might lose momentum, or you might lose the ability for feedback to occur, where you know that these are the steps I have to take to get there because I know what the outcomes are. And if it's just a general health or general tone idea, it's hard to know, right? So once you identify your goals and you define success, the next thing is to break down the elements of the healthy lifestyle that leads to this success. So, it's the exercise, it's the activity, it's the nutrition, it's the sleep, it's the mindset, it's all these things, right? And then, of course, each one of these components can be broken down into further components where you're actually focusing on certain tasks or actions for each one of these components of a healthy lifestyle. And then from there, you start to make informed decisions. And sometimes this is where you need to hire a professional if you haven't already. It's like, what do I do to best be efficient and focus on the right tasks for each one of these elements that make this greater goal that I'm looking to accomplish, right? And what's the proper nutrition strategy for me? What's the best sleep strategy? What's my exercise plan, et cetera, et cetera. Next down the line, the fourth thing is you have to start small. You're breaking down a complex problem into its simplest parts. And now you have to take small actions to get to these simplest parts checked off to build to this larger thing. So don't be afraid to start too small. It might mean that you stop ordering a certain menu item when you go out, and then you slowly swap in things, and instead of going out 7 times a week, you're going out 6. And it's a small process, but it's strategic, and nothing is too little. I think that's the most important point about this number 4 strategy to becoming a little bit more first principles based. And finally, seek guidance. If you're unsure, hire somebody. Find a coach, someone that can help you to really break down this complex concept, this complex problem into its simplest components, and focusing on those components and how to maximize the skills, the habits, the tactics to get you to your goal.